Hi, kindergartners. This week we're talking about most and least. So let's do that together. For most, we put our fists together like this with our thumbs up, and we put one up high. So we're showing that this one is the most. And least, we're going like this to make it small. The least. Our hands don't touch, but they come really close. The least, okay? And to learn about those things, I want to read a story called 10 Apples Up on Top. And in this story, the animals are having a competition to see who can get the most apples on their heads, okay? And then after we read the story, I want to have a little competition with my friend the Tyrannosaurus Rex to see which of us can balance the most apples on our heads. And you can guess right now who wins that competition. And then after we do that, we'll come back together and make a plan, okay? Okay, 10 apples up on top. Let's read this and see what happens. I wonder who's going to win this competition. He says, 1 apple up on top. 2 apples up on top. Oh, he's very good. Oh, but here comes another fellow, and he says, look you, I can do it too. They both have the same amount of apples on their head. They both have 2 apples, right? But look, see, I can do 3. So he now has the most. 3, I see, he says. You can do 3, but I can do more. You have 3, but I have 4. He now has the most apples on his head. Oh, now he's showing off. Look, see now, I can hop with 4 apples up on top. Not only does he have the most apples on his head, but he can jump rope while he does it. That's very good. And I can hop up on a tree with 4 apples up on me. Oh my goodness. But here comes another friend. Look here, you two. See here, you two. I can get 5 on top. Can you? So the tiger has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has the most apples. And the lion has the least, right? He only has 3. The tiger has the most apples on his head, and the lion has the least. Oh my gosh, things are getting a little crazy. I'm so good, I will not stop. 5, now 6, now 7 on top. So the tiger still has the most apples on his head. And the lion still has the least apples on his head. 7 apples up on top. I am so good, they will not drop. Look how surprised his friends are about how good he is about balancing those apples up on top. 5, 6, 7, fun, fun, fun. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's got a lot of apples up there. I think what's going to happen. Uh-oh. But see, we are as good as you. Look, now we have 7 too. All of the animals have the same amount of apples on their head. 7 apples, and you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the same. And now, see here, 8. 8 on top. 8 apples up. Not 1 will drop. So now the lion and the dog are putting 8 apples on their head. The lion and the dog have the most apples on their head, and the tiger, oh, he's looking like he wants to get another apple on his head so he can have the most apples on his head, right? 8, 8. Now we can skate. Look now, we can skate with 8. So the dog and the lion still have the most apples on their heads, and they're roller skating. But I can do 9 and hop and drink. You cannot do this, I think. The tiger has put 9 apples on his head. Now the tiger has the most, and he's hopping and drinking. That's a lot of apples. We can do it too. See here, we are as good as you. We are all very good, I think. With 9, we all can hop and drink. So they all have the same number of apples on their heads. They all have 9 apples, and they're all hopping and drinking with apples on their heads. 9 is very good, but then come on, and we can make it 10. They've all got an apple in their hand, and they've all got 9 apples on their heads. So if they all put an apple on their head, they will all have 10 apples on top. Look, 10 apples up on top. We are not going to let them drop. They all have 10 apples on top of their heads. Uh-oh. Look out, look out. I see a mop. I will make the apples fall. Get out, you, once and all. So they're getting chased by a bear, but they seem to be doing a good job keeping those apples on their heads. Come on, come on. Come down this hall. We must not let our apples fall. So she's still chasing them, but they so far have all their apples on their heads. Out of our way! We cannot stop. We cannot let our apples drop. Oh, I can't see the tiger there, but he also has his 10 apples up on top still. All of the animals have the same amount of apples on their heads right now. Oh, this is not good. What will we do? They want to get our apples too. Oh. They will get them if we let them come. We can let them get them. We cannot let them get them, so they're going to run away so the birds cannot get their apples. Look out, the mop, the mop, the mop. So they've got the bear with the mop and the birds up here trying to get their apples. They're getting all sorts of trouble. You cannot stop our apple fun. Our apples will not drop, not one. They still all have 10 apples on their head, the same amount of apples. Come on, come on, come on. One, come all. We have to make the apples fall. So they're being chased by lots of bears and birds trying to knock the apples down. They must not get our apples down. Come on, get out of town. So they're running and running, trying to keep the apples on their heads. Apples, apples up on top. All of this must stop, stop, stop. The bear really feels like they need to take these apples off of their heads. Now all our fun is going to stop. Our apples all are going to drop. Uh-oh, look, they're running, and they're running toward, that is a big cart full of apples. Right now, the guy in the cart has the most apples, I think. Uh-oh. Crash. That's a lot of apples. Look! 10 apples on us all. What fun. We will not let them fall. They all have the same amount of apples on their head. Now remember, that's the end of our story. Remember I said I was going to have a little competition with my Tyrannosaurus Rex to see who can put the most apples on our heads. So let's have that little competition with the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then we'll come back together. All right, kindergartners, I told you I was going to have a competition with my Tyrannosaurus Rex to see which of us can get the most apples on our head. Okay, Tyrannosaurus Rex, here we go. I have 1 apple on my head. I have the most apples on my head. How many apples can you put on your head? Oh, well, he's got 1 apple on his head. Oh my. Hey, he's got 2 apples on his head. Not bad, not bad. How about this? Now I have 2 apples on my head. What do you think about that? We have the same amount of apples on our heads. And now I have the most. I have the most apples on my head. What do you think about that, Tyrannosaurus Rex? Oh, well, that's very impressive. Very, very impressive. Okay, now you have 4 apples on your head. You have the most. But, you know, I still have 3 apples on my head. I mean, that's not bad. I'm doing pretty well. Oh, now you have 5 apples. That's a lot. You definitely have the most, and I have the least apples on my head. Okay, now it just seems like you're kind of showing off a little bit. You got a lot of apples. Okay, so my Tyrannosaurus Rex has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples on his head. He has 2 on his back. So which of us has the most apples on our heads? I guess you're right. I guess it's the Tyrannosaurus Rex. He won our competition. He has the most apples on his head. Nice job, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Nice job. Were you surprised? Did you think I was going to win that competition? My Tyrannosaurus Rex totally beat me. So what I would like you to do now is have a little competition of your own at home. You probably don't have a Tyrannosaurus Rex to compete with, but you might have a brother or a sister or a cousin or a mom or a dad who you could compete with to see what you could stack on your head and how many. So maybe you could see who can stack the most plates on your head. Make sure they're not breakable. Or maybe who can stack the most books on their head. Okay? And I would love to see a picture and have you tell me who won.